Hey folks, Matt McSpirit here, Technical Evangelist and member of the Ops team here at Microsoft. Continuing our look at the coolest Windows Server 2016 features, we've come here to Building 3 in the Redmond campus, where we're going to meet with Sam Devasahayam, who's going to tell us all about Active Directory and identity in Windows Server 2016. Let's take a look. Sam, thanks for joining us. Welcome. Let us know what you do at Microsoft. What's your role?
I've actually been in Microsoft for a little over 18 years, and all through my career, I've been with the Active Directory team.
Nice.
In the identity space. So my team right now drives anything relating to the identity stack in Windows Server. So this includes Active Directory domain services, federation services, and you probably know that with Microsoft, our team is also part of the Azure Active Directory team, so the identity division covers that.
Okay.
So I also drive a few things out there where we have something called Azure Ready Domain Services, as well as driving Connect and Connect Health for enabling the connection to our cloud. So that's a set of services and products that my team drives.
So you're quite busy.
Oh, believe me. About 10 years ago, we used to have a steady product we released, and then we had some downtime. It just doesn't exist right now.
No, the cloud cadence is a challenge for everybody.
It's fun. It's challenging, but it's fun.
Good. So let's bring people up to speed with everything that's new, or maybe not everything, we've not got that much time, but all of the key things that you feel are important for our IT folks out there to understand around identity, primarily in Windows Server 2016, but also, I guess, how it impacts the cloud and integration there as well.
Absolutely. When we did think about planning for Windows Server 2016, identity is something that's kind of key to every business. Whether you're thinking about applications within your environment or thinking about cloud services, it spans across that entire segment. And so a lot of people ask us, oh my goodness, you've been investing in the cloud a lot. But we see identity as being a core driver all the way from your existing on-premises systems moving over to the cloud. So we do actually have quite a bit of investments in there. If I had to break down our investments, I'd probably break it down at in a very high level, focusing on these kind of key themes. The first theme has always been security.
Right.
Security is such a key focus for us.
And a common concern.
Absolutely.
In the industry.
You've probably seen so many organizations reporting out in terms of where their security has been compromised. And our focus is to continue to give customers the tools to really secure their systems, secure their applications. And our team is no different. A key area for us has been with Active Directory, your administrators of Active Directory are key identities which have keys to the kingdom.
Yes.
And when you think about admin access across applications or the directory itself, that can be quite a challenging proposition because a lot of customers don't even know how many admins that they have, or they have hundreds of admins which can potentially get compromised. To support that, we've added two kind of key capabilities in the core of Active Directory domain services. The first is really something what we call as group memberships that's based on time.
Right.
So this way, you can have an admin or a user being part of an administrative group only for a specific period of time.
Okay.
That's a key feature that we've added, which gives you the ability to say, hey, I want to do an operation, I'm granted access into that group for 2 hours and it goes away.
Right.
The system takes care of it. You don't have to do anything manually, and it's quite easy. This requires, in our implementation, does require you to move all your domain controllers up to Server 2016.
Right.
And some customers may take a while to kind of get there. And to solve that problem, we've actually added a pretty cool thing. We call this a Bastion Forest, or where you can set up a brand new forest with Server 2016 and then enable that to project the admin accounts into all your group memberships.
Okay.
So that becomes a little easy where a customer does not have to worry about that environment.
And the whole upgrade process.
Have a separate forest, which is a clean forest, which probably they believe is also not compromised. So it gives them a lot of separation of that admin access. And then you can project out your admin memberships this way.
So that's a good way to allow people to phase transitioning to Windows Server 2016.
Absolutely. So,
Okay.
so that's a key capability that we've had, which is pretty huge, we think, for our customers. The other kind of key area around security has been, as people are transitioning to the cloud or people having a mobile workforce, more and more we see, hey, I want to be connected all the time to work, whether I'm sitting at a coffee shop or I'm at home or I'm at work. And in that world, as people are accessing cloud services, you need to authenticate your credentials of your AD accounts from the internet.
Yep.
And one of the biggest concerns that customers have let us know is that, hey, we really don't want to expose our passwords to the extranet. And because, hey, there could be compromises associated with that, allowing access or being able to access other resources that those passwords can access. And we really believe between providing more and more ways across Azure AD as well as our Windows Server AD stack to be able to kind of add more and more support for that. This is where, for us, where now a little more of our targets around Active Directory Federation services.
Right.
Active Directory Federation services is really used across tens of thousands of customers to connect to Azure AD and Office 365. Office 365 today. And recently we actually published a blog post where typically Azure AD, to get access to Office 365 or Azure, thousands of SaaS apps, we do about 1.3 billion auths per day across
That's
customers.
authentications.
Exactly, authentications per day.
Yep.
And we noticed that nearly 37% of this is handled by Active Directory Federation service across tens of thousands of customers.
So pretty scalable.
So it's we've got, we're pretty happy in terms of the growth in that space. And one of the biggest concerns from that group of customers, as I mentioned earlier, was, hey, I don't want to expose my usernames and passwords. And typically, there are certain organizations that use smart cards, which is what we kind of use even at Microsoft today to
get in through
log
the doors
into
and
the doors as well as access applications or log in into Windows. But there is a wide variety of devices as well as organizations that may not have that. So a key portion is that we've added 3 new capabilities for that. The first is essentially a very close integration with Windows 10 and all the security benefits of Windows 10, which is around Microsoft Passport. Microsoft Passport is a TPM protected credential, and now you can use that to log in into either Windows Server AD, Active Directory Federation service from the extranet that is tightly integrated with your desktop login, or to Azure AD. So it gives you this common way to think across Microsoft applications that live on premises or in the cloud and give you a way to kind of secure that access. So that's one kind of key investment for us that's integrated with Windows 10. The other is that we have a great multi-factor product in Azure, multi-factor authentication. We integrate that directly with Azure, with Active Directory Federation service in Server 2016, so that you can just use your phone or either as a phone call or as an application notification, and use that as a credential which doesn't expose your AD credential to authenticate the user.
I've actually, as a personal experience, as a consumer of our identity within Microsoft IT, I've actually been on the receiving end, the beneficiary of these kind of technologies. Because now, for instance, if I'm at home and I do need to connect back to corporate resources or access a site, I used to use the phone call approach. So it would say, I'm calling you back, here we go, and a phone call, hello, enter my PIN that I've established with Microsoft. And good to go, it logs me in, seamless. But now I've moved over to that app where it just gives me a notification. Enter my PIN, so that's secondary information, not my password, not my domain creds, just the PIN. And it's just seamless, and it just makes things very easy for a user, whether you're a technical user or a non-technical, because there are a lot of people out there who may be confused by regular credentials. So this PIN, which most people are used to, is beneficial. And it just shows that this technology does really work and make it easy, which is important.
Absolutely. Another key investment for us has been around, also, we see more and more of mobile devices having to be managed for you to access corporate resources. We have a great service in Intune that enables that for our customers today. What we've done is more integration within Active Directory Federation as services, such that a compliant device in which you can provision a certificate can also be used to log that device in. So this gives you a great approach where you have a set of choices where you never have to expose your username and passwords ever on the extranet as well. So that's a key push for us, which is all focused again on security, is something that we push here. Now, another offshoot of security is how do you secure access to specific applications. As an organization, you might have applications that are not like contain privileged information or confidential information, but you have a few of them that you really care to lock down. Sometimes people consider email, because we share a lot of things over email, to contain lots of privileged information. It's all about locking down access in one way or the other. With Windows Server 2012 R2, we moved the needle forward in the sense that we actually could start recognizing devices themselves.
Right.
So that, especially for internet access, you really think about, oh my goodness, that's so many endpoints that are never authenticated. You just don't know about that. We've taken that first step, saying that at least you have an authenticated endpoint.
Yeah.
Now we've taken that step further and say it's not just authentication of the device that gains access to the application, it's a device, whether it's managed or compliant as reported by Intune, and then be able to kind of lock down access. So that's again a core part of our strategy for not only about securing credentials, it's about securing access to applications as well.
So it gives those administrators who have to manage all of these devices a lot of control and secure control over their corporate assets potentially, or even non-corporate assets that people are bringing in.
And we see a huge demand for this. Because when you think about customers, especially customers who really lock down access just inside their environment, now it's a new world for them, and this gives them another key tool to be able to start locking down access and feeling comfortable about the security, where you as a user might be accessing from anywhere, but you still have security in terms of the credential or restricting access to applications.
Awesome. So loads of cool stuff. So anything else in identity that people should be aware of?
I think what we see also is the application developers are changing their paradigm.
Definitely, yes.
So now, gone are the days where it was traditionally just the browser-based applications, native applications that span across multiple devices. And to support these types of applications, most services are moving to RESTful services so that you can provide access, API level access for these native applications that span across, whether it's a Windows Universal Store app or an app on an iOS or an Android platform. And to do that, we have a new set of protocols that support those paradigms. So these are called OAuth or OpenID Connect, which are new protocols that support these RESTful type of services. And while we took the first step in 2012 R2 in Active Directory Federation Service, now we support the full suite of OAuth and OpenID Connect. This gives developers the tools to essentially build services that are on premises or in the cloud. And now, whether it is Azure Active Directory or Windows Server AD with the Active Directory Federation Service, you have a common programming model in which you can build the app, and it doesn't matter where you deploy. And you have this common way in which you will go build and authenticate users. This also gives you the ability to, again, reap the benefits of our MFA and our secure identity story across all of these devices.
So once you've got it integrated with the core authentication, that's where you can add the multi-factor and
Absolutely.
So cool. So cool stuff. Cool. Lots of stuff going on in identity.
Know.
Busy. So anything else that you want to give people insight into?
It's like when we think about server, the notion of operational management continues to always be there. How do we make it easier for admins? And we've done a few things in terms of providing better tools for how you author policies that I talked about, or giving you easier ways. One of the things that we've seen is that if we provide enough value, customers essentially are willing to move forward at a pretty rapid rate. And that's pretty cool. But we can make that easier for them. So one of the things that we did in Active Directory Federation Service based on feedback from earlier was that we give you the ability to easily upgrade your servers or easily add more servers of 2016 into your existing environment, vet out that everything that worked before, like those thousands of customers accessing Azure AD, everything works before, and then essentially turn on a switch to say, oh, let me now use new features. So we just kind of made that an easier process from an operational management. There are other capabilities like delegating the service management that we provide, but overall our focus, there's always this place where we want to make sure our admins feel comfortable operating our environment easily.
And manageability is a key theme within Windows Server, helping people manage more with less, helping people upgrade efficiently. There's a couple of other videos that will cover that as well. So,
actually, I forgot to mention one additional thing that I think our customers would be pretty interested in is while we as a core team, we've got, I don't even know how many, we believe it is pretty much most enterprises have Active Directory.
Yeah.
We also see, for varying reasons, a population of users living in other LDAP directories.
Right.
So we just added now, because as part of thinking about our connecting to our cloud story as well, we've just embraced that population as well. And now with Active Directory Federation Service, you can not only authenticate users in Active Directory, you can authenticate users in any LDAP directory. That gives you the ability to still have the benefits of that securing access, have the benefits of multi-factor authentication, all in one common paradigm, whether you're connecting to cloud services or modern apps.
So it's really enabling heterogeneous integration, hybrid, and much more.
Absolutely.
Cool, that's awesome. So documentation on that is available as well?
Yes, absolutely.
So we've got blogs.
You can get started right now. We have some blogs out, as well as we will continue to, as we march on, towards the final release of Windows Server 2016, we'll keep adding more and more to make sure that our customers are ready. Not only can you use it today, we actually have a few customers in production today,
nice.
Which is pretty cool, and we continue to march forward.
And so there's more videos available on places like Channel 9, Microsoft
Yes.
Virtual Academy. People can learn more through all
Absolutely.
those sources as well. So Sam, thanks for joining us and the education on identity as well. It's been very useful for me and our viewers.
Absolutely, it's been a pleasure.
Good. And for you at home, hopefully you found that useful. Please join us again in another video in this series on understanding all of the cool stuff in Windows Server 2016. See you again.